So we're talking about post-workout recovery, injury recovery, mental recovery, and burnout recovery. Number one, post-workout recovery. When you're lifting weights, training for a race, playing on a rec team, your body needs time to rebuild and strengthen. It takes longer the older you are. Skipping this recovery can lead to fatigue and plateaus. Because my job as a stunt performer requires a high level of physical output, I invest in my physical recovery just like a professional athlete would. Maintenance and prevention is the name of the game. Massages, acupuncture, cold dips, sauna, protein shakes with collagen and creatine, stretching on the regular. It's a long list, but it is kind of my job. And here's how we can manage that recovery effectively. Prioritizing our sleep and nutrition. Quality sleep is the most muscle repair happens. It's the time where most of it happens. And pairing that with protein-rich meals, hydration, maximizing our recovery. Our active recovery days, instead of going all out balls to the wall every day, we incorporate movements like stretching, walking, yoga, blood flow to reduce soreness. I promise these are all very useful. Listening to our body. If you feel excessively sore and sluggish, you can swap your high intensity workout for something a little gentler. Rest isn't weakness, it is a strategy. Okay, number two, injury recovery. Injuries can be frustrating, especially when they disrupt our routines. But pushing through the pain, as I have learned the hard way, won't help. If anything, it's going to make it worse. One of my favorite lines from one of the movies, James Caan's character in the program, it is, "Are you hurt or are you injured?" The athlete asks what that means. He says, "Well, if you're hurt, you can play. If you're injured, you can't." I feel like this was also used in Remember the Titans. Anyways, it's a really good line. I say that because I get injured often. I'm clumsy. I'm professionally clumsy. I literally get paid to fall down. And oddly enough, my injuries are not usually work related, but like life's business and miscalculations. I recently actually suffered a pretty bad injury on my hip when I was literally just hiking outside and kind of fell. It was out of the socket for like a couple of days. Needless to say, damage was done. And I spent the first sleepless night trying to go back in time and change the outcome. I tried to make a list of all the things that I could have done differently. I made a mental list of all the things I was missing out on now that I was injured, and I cried just a wee little bit. Then I licked my wounds. I got to work with my recovery plan, and I diverted a good chunk of my attention to what I could in fact do instead of what I couldn't do. And I'm happy to report that I embraced that rest period and I am back flipping and falling. And this is how you can recover smarter when those little oopsies happen. One, rehab or rest. Sometimes, first, we need rest, calm our nervous system, our egos, whatever that is. Sometimes we need total inactivity to heal. So instead, we can focus on rehabilitative exercises, strengthening surrounding muscles. This can speed up our healing time. Like I said, focusing on what we can do versus what we can't. I think the hardest thing is adjusting our training and modifying our workouts so that we're not stopping altogether. Typically, it's not all of our bodies that is immobile. It's just a little piece of that. So safely targeting the other parts of our bodies that we can do to stay healthy. Obviously, this goes without saying, seeking professional support, either physiotherapists, doctors, body workers, coaches that can give you that special guidance to heal properly and safely. All right, number three, mental recovery. Our brains need just as much recovery as our bodies, especially when we're juggling careers, families, personal goals. The list goes on. I have found mom life to be no joke. And for the past 4 years, I continue to be blown away by just how much mental and emotional energy is required to keep a small human alive. Not to mention juggling partner and friendships and family dynamics and silencing the never-ending to-do list that runs like Wall Street ticker tape in my mind all day long. Just because it's fun and fulfilling doesn't mean that it doesn't take up mental bandwidth. So here's some ways to reset mentally. Unplug daily. Take that little bit of time away from screens, notifications, and that constant output. Even 10 minutes of quiet time can reset your mind. Use a timer if you need to, and work on sessions out of your chair, like once an hour. Just get up moving around. Schedule do nothing time. I suck at this, but it's so important. Just like workouts or meetings, block off time in your calendar for boredom, for the unknown. There's so much untapped power in being bored. The other one, moving with intention. A mindful walk, some light stretching, breath work, staring at the waves in the ocean. This can help shift your mental state and reduce stress. Okay, finally, the fourth one, burnout recovery. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about being in a state of exhaustion that affects your motivation, focus, and overall being. Earlier this year, I got into a workout with my trainer 10 minutes late, and of course, she simply asked how I was feeling. This innocuous question sent me into a teary spiral where I listed off all of the things I was working on and doing and working towards, and all of my achievements so far, and how many times I was training, all the adventures I was participating in or planning, and I was crying. I was exhausted. And these were all happy things to report, but the list was so overwhelming and the juggling act literally affected my brain. I felt frazzled. I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia. I was constantly bloated and, dare I say, a little short with my loving admirers. All telltale signs of cortisol imbalance, aka burnout. It is no fun and it's a serious state and takes a lot of work to get out of. But here are some things. Recognizing it earlier. So that fatigue, irritability, lack of joy, usually like those things when you lose your love is a red flag. And acknowledging them before they escalate, tackle it early, you'll be so much better off if you just hit that short-term pause versus a big overhaul of building back up your normal cortisol levels. And redefining productivity is one of the best ways we can do that. More is not more is not more. You can hustle, you can kill it, you can level up so much better and faster if you just rest a little bit first. And I found that a really powerful thing to learn, like the power of saying no. Not everything has to be urgent. Can the laundry wait? Can the food get delivered by a service? Can you ask someone else to organize the group thing and just let your presence be your presence? All right, so my final thoughts on recovery is it's not a luxury, it's essential. So when we take the time to rest, we come back stronger, more focused, and more resilient, and more productive. So let's commit to making recovery a priority as best we can, just like we do with all of our other ambitions. I'd love to hear what some of your favorite recovery things that you do. Drop them in the comments. Have a great restful day. And I hope wherever you are, you get a little bit of vitamin D.